Welcome to this channel, and in this video I am going to solve Leetcode 175th question, which is combined two tables. So this comes under easy category question. They have given a table called person and their column names and their respective data types, person ID, last name and first name. Person ID is the primary key column for this table. So what do you mean by primary key? It is a column which has unique and non-null values. So this table contains information about the ID of some persons and their first and last names. They have also given a second table which is called address and the column name, address ID, person ID, city and state and the respective data types. So they have given that address ID is the primary key for this table. Each row of this table contains information about the city and the state of one person with the ID equal to person ID. So what we need to find out is we need to write a solution to report the first name, last name, city, and the state of each person in the person table. If the address of a person ID is not present in the address table, we need to report null instead and return the result table in any order. So let me go through this example and explain it to you what we need to exactly find out. So they have given two tables. One is person ID person table and an address table. Okay. So what and all we require to return in the output table? First name, last name, city and state. And we require for each person in the person table. Okay. So okay, if the person ID is not present in address table, we need to report null. Okay, so here you can see that the first name Alan Wang. Okay, the person ID is 1, but in the address table we don't have a person ID 1. Okay, so it does not have an address ID. So for that, what we need to require, all the address should be null. So that means that city should be null for Alan Wang and state should be null for Alan Wang. Okay. So next is Bob Alice. So Bob Alice has a person ID 2. So for the person ID 2 in address table, it has a address ID 1 and the city is New York City and the state is New York. So that would be returned. As you can see, that is the output that they are expecting. So, and how exactly can we write a SQL query in order to obtain this result? So here, as you can see, the 4 columns that we require is spread among these two tables, and we need to join both of these tables somehow and get the results, right? And what kind of join are we going to use? Because there are different kinds of join. And in this question, we are going to use left join. Why? Because we need all these values for each person. That means that we require for each person, that is the first name and last name. For Alan Wang, we require the values of city and state. For Bob Alice, we required, right? That's the reason I'm going to left join the person table along with the address table. So whenever you're going to perform a left join, the table which is on the left side, all the values will be obtained, and the other values which is there in the right side of the table, if it is not matching based on a person ID, we are going to join because it is the column which is comparable in both of the tables. Okay, and person ID is the primary key in the person table, and address in address table, person ID is the foreign key. That's the reason I'm going to join based on that. And this address, whenever it is not present, we need to report null. That would be handled by the left join. Alright, so let me start writing the code and make you understand how exactly we are going to perform the left join. So from the table called person, I am going to alias it as P. I am going to left join on the table called address. Okay, I'm going to alias it as A. And on what basis are we going to join? Here on the based on person ID we are going to join. So as so in some cases it is not exactly that if the name is same in both the tables, on that we need to perform a join. It's not how we perform a join. If even if it has a different name and both of them means the same thing, and both of the values are comparable, here in person ID both the values here is comparable. That's the reason why we are going to join it on person ID. Okay, and as I have aliased person table with P, I'm going to write P dot person ID equal to, and I have aliased address table with A, so A dot person ID. Okay, and what and all we require? We need the first name, last name, city and the state. Both first name, last name comes under person table. So it would be P dot first name, comma, P dot last name, comma, A dot city, comma, A dot state. Okay, so let me run this code and see whether it throws any error or not. If it we're going to solve it together, but here they have considered the same input and address table. Okay, and we're getting the same output as the expected output, so it runs perfectly well. So let me submit it and see whether it passes all the test cases or not. Okay, it's running. Okay, as you can see, it is accepted as well, and it passes all the test cases. So that is the solution for the Leetcode question 175 combined two tables. Thank you for watching. I hope you understood this video. Have a great day.